Now let's look at some of the very essential functions that you need to know whenever you're working with a Pandas data frame or a Pandas series. These are very, very useful. What are they? First one is DF State. From this series, we are going to get the unique values present in this series. The method for this is unique. Likewise, if you want to know the number of unique values, you have n unique method. Let's run both of them and see how it looks. So these are the different unique states present in that column, and the number of unique states is given by n unique. Now you have another very useful method. This you will often use. This is used to count the number of unique values present in that data frame. So here let's do a value count on states. This tells us how many times each of these values have occurred in this particular column. Value counts. Very useful. Now instead of having the count itself, we want to know the proportion of number of times each of these values occurred. To do that, add this parameter normalize equal to true, and that will give you the proportions. The sum of those proportions should add up to 1. The sum of all these values should add up to 1. Let's check that also. So here what we will do is take this function and do a sum at the end. This adds up to 1. Alright. Now we want to know the n largest values of this particular column account length. What this does is, since we are doing it on the data frame itself, what this does is, this is sorting the data frame based on account length in descending order, right? From that, it is giving you the top 5 rows. Since you have mentioned 5, it is just giving us top 5 rows. So this function is not very commonly used as you would use value counts. Value count, in my opinion, is the most commonly used, but this is a good to know function. Now, next one is how to drop a specific column from your data frame. You can use drop function, specify the column names, it will get dropped. Now, if you want to drop it permanently on doing this, this will not include the last column, that is churn column will not get included. But if you look at DF, inside DF, the actual data frame itself is still unchanged because you can see clearly here churn is still present. That's because we have not actually permanently dropped this particular column. To permanently drop it, you need to add this additional parameter in place equal to true. We have seen this earlier when we saw how to rename columns of a data frame. Remember? Alright. So that's how you drop columns. In a similar way, you can drop rows also. You need to specify what are the indexes or indices of the rows that you want to drop. On doing this, you see here the first 3 rows have been dropped from this output. Alright. Next one is how to transpose a data frame. Transpose a data frame, it makes all the columns into rows and rows into columns. df.t, capital T, as simple as that. Likewise, you can get the info. If you check the info on transposing it, you can see here the column here, all the columns of a data frame is composed of a mix of both numbers as well as strings. So essentially all your numeric columns as well as string columns, all of them got converted to one single data type, which is object. You can understand this, right? Because earlier, suppose if you take this particular column, state, all the values in this particular state column was object type. Likewise, say number of email messages, all these were integers. Total day minutes, all these were floats, right? Each column is having its own data type. Now on transposing it, individual column, each of these columns is a mix of different data types. When you have a mix of different data types, that column gets converted to an object data type. And that's the result of doing that operation here. Hope that is clear. To quickly recap, what functions we have seen is, we have seen how to take the unique values, how to get the unique values using unique. N unique gives the number of unique objects. Value counts gives the frequency of each of the unique items in your data. Likewise, value counts normalize will convert it into fractions. The sum of all these fractions will add up to 1. Proportions rather. Then how to drop columns, how to drop rows, how to drop indexes, then transpose.